Hey guys, RPG Writer here. Hopefully your day is going moderately not terrible. So, I'm up to 10 subscribers, including me. Possibly my dad. And that's okay. I'm really doing this for me. So, I came up with a name, RPG Writer. I had gone with Drek Arcraze originally, one of my characters, old role-playing characters. I'll get into that in this video. But essentially I needed to come up with a name that made sense and had something to do with what I'm doing. And also one that I can search on YouTube and find. And ironically, you know, looking at anything that makes sense, I search on YouTube and I'll get 16,000 hits, none of which are me at all. Drek Arcraze, no one knows what that is. I searched it in YouTube and there's me. So I've got to give some thought to this RPG Writer thing. That might be my name. Who knows? We'll have to see how things go. Anyway, thanks for the feedback I've gotten so far from the people who know me and said, you know, your mic, your voice is too muffled, you know, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff was immensely helpful, and I'm slowly getting the hang of it. So thank you for that. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a lot of vlogging that there might be some meandering talk. Won't always be in a straight line and focused, because this is kind of a laid-back thing, you know, that I'm going to do. So you're going to relax, sit back, maybe have a coffee, maybe some Cheetos. Or wait a second, we're RPGers. Maybe Dr. Pepper and, I don't know, potato chips or something. And you sit back and spend a few minutes each day, you know, just listening to what I'm doing and, you know, enjoying some role-playing chat, right? That's really all this is. So it's going to be fun for me and hopefully fun for you. And you can relax and say, let's listen to some roleplay stuff. Also, you'll get to enjoy a cool sport bike and feel what that might be like to ride. Yeah, if you're interested in Tron or whatever. So, anywho, the topic for today is favorite characters. You know, your favorite characters you've had during your lifetime, etc. You know, throughout your role-playing career. I'm going to talk about mine, and I'd like to hear about yours. I actually genuinely would. So if you want to, you know, make a comment in the comment section about what you enjoy, I'd like to read it, actually. I'd be quite interested. You know, everybody has a favorite character, memorable characters, or, you know, etc. I was actually watching an interview with Vin Diesel at one point, you know, and I was always kind of, yeah, action guy, whatever. Until I realized that he was a D&D player, and my opinion of him just skyrocketed. And I think his character was Malcor, I think, and I believe he even has a tattoo of Malcor. The word Malcor somewhere on his body, I think he alluded to. And, you know, it was just a character, D&D character that deeply impacted him and he really enjoyed and loved. So, I don't have any tattoos of my favorite character, but I will talk about a few of them. So, I don't just ramble on about them. Feel free to speak up if you want me to change the topic. If you're here with me right now in the back of the bike. Nope, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Way back in the day, well, my first character ever was a cleric by the name of Vingard. And I rolled him up. He was lawful good for a basic level game. And I was about 7 or 8 years old at the time. I was really, really young. Really young to even know what was going on with the idea of this whole role-playing game thing. I became a GM shortly after. I was just so taken with the whole role-playing thing. So that was that. Oops, there's some lights up ahead. if they're coming my way or going or stationary or what. So that was that. I need to speed up anyway. Oh, it's going the opposite way. Or sorry, yeah, going the way I'm going. So, some other memorable ones. Well, a good friend of mine, SSFX17. Oh, don't go right. You're gonna ruin my... I hate it when people do... Oh, look at that. Look at you guys. So, he actually started a Cortex campaign. Cortex Classic is what I'm kind of into. Cortex Classic. And he started... Ooh, he started a... I'll just get up to speed really quickly so you can kind of get the feel for a sport bike. And, yeah, that's what it's all about. So he started a Cortex Classic campaign, and he ran a space opera. I mentioned Cortex was one of my favorite games. It's just so intuitive and perfect. That's for another vlog. And I had this character. He was a smuggler. Trek Arcrees was his name. That's originally what I wanted to call myself in the vlog. Anyway, Trek Arcrees, this smuggler guy, you know, quick-witted dude. And because we were playing over Skype, you know, we all had a, you know, a digital image for our characters. And what I actually did was really into Queensryche at the time. This singer for Queensryche, Jeff Tate. I was really a big Jeff Tate fan. You know, he's singer of Operation Mindcrime now. And I, you know, found an image of him online, and I changed it slightly by using the paint program and putting a little bit of hair underneath his, you know, lower lip. And I called him Drek Arcrees, and just loved that character. A lot of good adventures. You just wanted to be Drek. You know, he's just a cool guy, and Solo-ish maybe. And so that was that. That was him. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. And, you know, from what I hear, Drek is living it up right now. He's having a great old time. He's doing great in his new life as a, whatever. Still smuggling somewhere in the world. In a fictional world. Having a great time of it. And, yeah, so I really enjoyed Drek. I can barely hear anything, so I don't know if you can. So I quite enjoyed Drek, and then there's another guy, a GM whom I can't name because he doesn't have an online identity, not that I know of, so I'll just call him Guy. This guy GM'd me in a Forgotten Realms campaign, and I had this character, he was a thief, a human thief, and he's this bald guy. I was reading a Dragon magazine one time, and he was on the cover, this guy was on the cover of a Dragon magazine, this thief, this bald guy. And it just gave me a cool idea for a character, so I cut out the image and stuck it on my character sheet. And this guy was Denzel Silvermane. Ironic, because he didn't have any hair at all, he was bald. But he had a lot of good adventures in Forgotten Realms. Yeah, I did a lot of adventures in the sewer from what I remember. Just really cool adventures. So I liked him a lot, this thiefy guy. Also another character by the name of Manitou. Another guy who doesn't have an online identity, so I'll just call him Guy number 2. Guy number 2 GM'd me, or DM'd me in Conan Unchained, the old TSR AD&D module. And this guy Manitou became a king after a while, my character. He was just this brigand guy who worked his way up through whatever. You know, and he was like average dude. You know, might have had a 17 strength. I quite enjoyed him. His name Manitou. I was actually really into Venom at the time. It's a heavy metal band. And Venom's pretty amazing in their own right. It was very poetic stuff. A lot of the stories they had were like stories of lycanthropy or the battle between heaven and hell, you know, that sort of stuff. And it was like, you know, reading a new Dante's Inferno all the time. It was just quite amazing. So they had a song called Manitou, which I believe is an Inuit legend. Is that right? I don't know. But anyway, I used it for my character, and I love this guy, Manitou. He was just great. Another character was Or of Zingar. He was this barbarian guy. Second edition D&D. Had some sort of bracers that allowed him to go ethereal, maybe shadow form. I can't remember what it was, but it was a powerful combo to be a barbarian. This, you know, super powerful combat fighter who could go ethereal or shadow form or whatever it was, or of Zingar. And I got in Zingar, of course, from you know, Hyboria, Robert E. Howard and stuff. Drek Arcrees was originally a Star Frontiers character that I never got to play. I rolled him up, and no one, you know, the game master flaked out. So when SSFX 17 decided to run Cortex Classic, which is like the best game ever for sci-fi, it's like Alternity's son is Cortex, and there's a connection between Cortex and Alternity that I'll get to in a later vlog. So anyway, when I got a chance to play Drek, whom I never got a chance to play originally in Cortex, I just went with the idea, the concept, patched him over. Another one, a dear friend of mine, really big on the Castles and Crusades board, CNC boards, is Trebor, a really good friend of mine. You know, become fantastic friends over the last several years or more. He ran a campaign, excellent module anyway. I wanted to go the other way, and I need to get this bike in for service. And he ran Haunted Highlands, which is this just awesome module. He ran that, and I had this character, this barbarian by the name of Dropner. And Dropner, I think, means ring or something in Norse mythology. I can't recall. I came across the name, thought it was cool. So I had this barbarian dude who was named Dropner. He was just awesome. He's kind of Conan-esque. And for a CNC, I just love Dropner. I wanted to be Dropner. You know, Dropner was almost, picture him almost like a cross between Glenn Danzig and Conan. Just, you know, Chrome. You know, he was just a fantastic, I didn't speak like that in the game, but just a fantastic concept and cool character, Dropner. So, there have been a lot of good characters that I really enjoyed. Kidding, not gonna do anything. And, he was like, I'm gonna dart across. No, maybe not. The sport bike is like a cruise missile. Everyone thinks they can't do damage, you're only gonna hurt yourself. Basically, you're riding a cruise missile, and you're riding a 600cc motorcycle. Don't get one as your first motorcycle. Just don't. It wouldn't end well for 99% of the people.